Thanks, beautiful. Good morning. I admitted this. I admitted earlier that this is a recycled talk, given the short notice. So this is a talk I gave to a charismatic community last September. So take oras, di ko na rin nabago. So this is largely relating the Jubilee of Hope to what Filipino families can do. So, yung theme, before Pope Francis passed, he instituted Jubilee 2025, Pilgrims of Hope. It's malalim natin anyway. So, if you take a look at the logo of that Jubilee, you will note that there are four different characters there representing the continents, and then there's a cross underneath is the anchor. But sa akin, I chose to focus on the rough sea. The rough sea, as described by the dicastery for evangelism, is a reminder of the difficulties in the pilgrimage of life, personal events as well as those in the world, which presses on to us a greater demand for hope. So the question is, how can we be beacons of hope? How can we be beacons of hope? To our family, to our friends, to our communities, to society in general, to our parish. So Pope Francis in Amoris Laetitia said that the church must accompany with attention and care the weakest of her children who show signs of a wounded and troubled love by restoring in them hope and confidence like the beacon of a lighthouse in a port, to enlighten those who have lost their way or who are in the midst of a storm. That's from Amoris Laetitia 291. Our marching orders, therefore, is to become beacons of hope. And there is a saying that you cannot give what you don't have. I like this metaphor better. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Kung walang laman yung baso mo, wala kang i-share. So the outline of this talk would be, if we are in the dark, how do we shine? If we are in a state of despair, how can we bring hope to families, to our own family? So I'm not saying that we are empty cups. Kahit pa paano, meron ng laman yung cup natin, especially after this weekend. But there's still room for a little more. And the more that we have, the more we can share. So this is the outline of my talk. I would like to cover some of the major storms that we face. And then a proposed framework. It's hope through focus, which I will share later. And then practical applications and tools, how individual strength builds community, and the conclusion. And the conclusion, hopefully, you can do in the next workshop that will follow this talk. As we sail in this pilgrimage of life, what can make us lose hope? What are the things that can make us lose hope? So in the center, these are immediate family. In the center of the storm, these are immediate family challenges that we can relate to. Lahat tayo hinaharap ito. So this storm na to, there's an inner ring and an outer ring. So the inner ring will be, so this is the center of the storm. This is family natin, family time challenges. Kahapon lang kanina pinost ni Mel yung Carmageddon sa Marcos Highway. So this really impacts on our family time, di ba? In fact, those who have 8 to 5 jobs, they say that like 4 hours of a day they spend in the commute. So yung 4 hours na yun, that you could have spent with your families, nauubos natin sa commute natin. So the digital divide, screen addiction, we have mental health issues, and then of course financial pressure. Yung inner ring would be social media influences, materialism, consumerism, hedonism, pornography, gender ideology, LGBTQIA, and then youth disengagement. Sa outer ring would be societal forces, cohabitation, falling marriage rates, government corruption, the threat of divorce, solo parent families, and then domestic violence, and OSAIC. Yung OSAIC na tutunan namin sa DSWD. It stands for Online Sexual Abuse and Exploitation of Children. At ang Pilipinas ay nasa top 3 sa buong mundo. So, are we now feeling hopeless? I can't blame you. Isa din talaga, but if you take a look at all these challenges, you will feel hopeless. But this is the framework that I will propose. In 1989, Dr. Stephen Covey wrote the book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And in this Seven Habits book, he talks about 3 circles. First is the circle of concern. And then the second circle is the circle of influence. And the third circle is the circle of control. So, ano yung circle of concern? Yeah. Examples. This is a wide range of concerns of which we have no control over the outcome. Tulad ng giyera, yung weather, natural disasters, minimum wage rates, oil and rice prices, yung ginagawa ng ating mga politiko, wala tayong magagawa. Ginagawa ng mga celebrities, influencers, nakikita natin sa TikTok all over. We can't do anything about it. Government corruption, it's really a major concern. Occupation of the West Philippine Sea, wala rin tayong magagawa dyan. The past and the future, wala tayong magagawa dyan. The second circle is the circle of influence. These are concerns that we can do something about. Example, family relationships, work relationships, our community, our parish, our diocese, how we vote, the politicians that we vote for, the causes that we support, and behaviors of some people, yung reaction ng ating mga social media followers, we can influence that. So the smallest circle is what we call the circle of control, what we can directly impact through our thoughts, through our words and actions. Example, personal goals, self-care practices, the personal boundaries that we set. Whether mag-asawa ka, sino pakakasalan mo, your values, your mindset, how you respond to others, these are all within our locus of control. So when you talk about what is the basis for our hope? Siyempre, una, yung circle of control. Pangalawa, circle of influence. Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung circle of concern. Kasi wala tayong magagawa doon. So, this is the paradigm shift that I'm proposing. So, these are some issues from, I did a survey of yung South Sector Family Life Ministry ng Bigay ng Panginoon. And they said these are our major concerns. Kasi whenever I'm invited to give a talk, I try to get inputs also from the audience. Ano ba yung pinagkakaabalahan ninyo? So ito yung may naka-asterisk. These are all the things that they mentioned. These are family time, digital divide, social media influences, conversation with their children about LGBTIQA+. Youth disengagement and attitude towards marriage. Now, I cannot cover everything because this is only a 45-minute talk. So, in some of the concerns, I will just go through quickly, but some of the concerns that we did add. Lalo na yung government corruption, there's nothing really we can do about it. I added that because on September 8, CBCP wrote a pastoral letter about government corruption. First, family time challenges. Yan. Hindi yan yung picture ng Marcos Highway, but it kind of looked like that last night. Hanggang 11:50 daw ganyan yung children. So, ang concern ng maraming families, Metro Manila traffic patterns, infrastructure, company work schedules, overtime requirements, school calendar and activity schedules, those all impact on family time. And then, the economic pressures requiring both spouses to be working, commute distances, other families' time management choices, government policies on working hours. Anong within our control dito? Within our control would be family time to pray. even 5 minutes together can make a big difference. So we cannot just be complaining about traffic all the time. So we even squeeze in like 5 minutes. If you cannot pray the entire rosary, pray a decade of the rosary. So you can implement also device-free meal times. Put the phones in the basket during dinner. Then weekend family activities, you can plan together time with the family. Then bedtime routines. Especially those with smaller children, you can have like one-on-one moments with them before they go to sleep. And then, okay, if you have a card that you use for your daily commute, and then you have family members, use that for your conversations. And then later on, I will share with you a program that I shared with Ligaya ng Panginoon. It's called Heart to Heart, and then they're really excited to implement it. So then we have husband and wife dialogue time. You have to protect your marriage first. Circle of influence, the slightly bigger circle. That family bundle is something unique to Ligaya ng Panginoon anyway. You can organize carpools to create community connection time. You can host device-free family gatherings in the neighborhood. Iwasan nyo rin mga online meetings. If you can do face-to-face, do face-to-face. Then model work-life balance choices in your workplace. You can support other parents struggling with time management. In the schools, you can advocate for family-friendly policies. And then, second circle of concern is the digital divide. This is a very common scene now. No? When you go to restaurants, you see people, they don't talk anymore. Ito nga, sa bahay na sila, di sila nag-uusap. So, it really impacts on family togetherness. So, the rapid pace of technological change, new platforms and apps, ang bilis talaga ng development ng mga apps. In a year, maybe more than a dozen new apps that our children are exposed to. And then also a challenge would be a lot of schools, because madalas ngayon pagka nag-call off ng classes, nag-online sila. So our children are increasingly relying on technology and the internet for learning. And then you cannot also control how the classmates of our children use their devices. Hindi natin makakontrol yun. Peer pressure to be hooked onto social media 24/7. Then, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, the Philippines is among the top 3 ng online sexual abuse and exploitation of children. Internet predators, inappropriate content, cyberbullying, other families, technology standards and rules. And then Philippines status as a heavy social media user. I think we're over the past 3 or 4 years, we've been ranking as a first and second ranked sa use of social media. Ano naman ang within our control? So within our control would be family device policies. You can institute when and where devices can be used. And then draw clear consequences for violation of these rules. These are rules that you can agree with your children. And then gadget-free times and zones like dining room, dining table, dinner time, in the bedrooms, walang gadgets. And of course, for parents, we have to model healthy digital habits for our children. And then also devise regular offline family activities that will build connection with our children. And then we have to open conversations about what children see online. Then parental controls, maraming apps dyan that can help you monitor what your children are viewing. And then guilty kami rin dito. Sometimes we use Messenger to call everyone, o kakain na. Because you don't know where they are. Yung something na tumatawid sa bahay ng parents ko, o kain na. Hindi namin Messenger. So, sa amin, ang tip na to is prioritize face-to-face communication. Then the last one is very important. Kasi sa karamihan ng fake news ngayon, our children fall prey to this fake. Kahit nga adults, they fall prey to fake news eh. Kasi parang it's so prevalent now. So we have to teach our children how to check facts before sharing. And not everything on the internet is worth sharing. Also, the bigger circle of influence. Let's share this with other families. If we learn something, let's share with our friends. And then, if you have the community gatherings, family reunions, let's propose to the adults, let's have device-free family reunions. Kasi napansin niyo ba, for the past Christmases, I noticed sa clan reunion namin, parang half of the people are stooped on their, staring at their cell phones during family reunions, which really defeats the purpose. So we can promote traditional Filipino games in our communities, partner with other families for accountability, phone-free gatherings, tapos if we can have our voices heard sa schools ng mga anak natin, let's advocate for reasonable screen time. Hindi naman lahat ng assignment kailangan ng internet. Then, is this something that interests you? Consumerism, I can skip it. You want it or not? Don't need it. Ito na lang, this is what I want to cover. Ang problema kasi dito sa consumerism is kasama dito yung consumption natin sa social media and the internet. And if you talk about the 7 deadly sins in 2025, you will realize that for those who may not be familiar, the 7 deadly sins are also called the capital sins because they engender the other vices, the other sins. And then this make our parenting role more difficult because these 7 deadly sins are present in the internet. Tingnan natin. Yan. Pride, syempre, sa Facebook yan makikita because we don't post things that are not positive about ourselves, diba? We also only post nice things. Yung last, kita-kita mo na yan. May OnlyFans, may Tinder, may Pornhub. Yung sloth, nakita natin yan. Yung pandemic, nauso yung binge watching. Alam niyo yung tatapusin niyo yung buong Korean novela in one sitting. Doon nauso yun, diba? So it engenders laziness or sloth. Yung rant sa Twitter, alam na natin yan. Lahat ng mga rant natin, yung mga politiko natin, yung mga influencers natin, pag nagrarant sila sa Twitter, or sa X na pala siya. Yung greed, sa payan. We're exposed to like online shopping 24/7. In fact, narinig mo sa office, pumutunog yung Shopee na notification. So, it's really already part of our culture. And then, sinabi ni Father Cesar kahapon sa meditation niya, yung Christmas is, Christmas season, we tend to overspend, so we need to moderate our shopping choices. So then, yung capital sin ng envy, o hindi ng Facebook and Instagram, gluttony, ganun din sa Instagram. So, it's really all over the place. So, yung social media influences, how do we address this? Sa family prayers natin, we say, thank you, Lord, for what we have. And then, we can institute gratitude rituals, appreciation for our basic needs that are met. Then, we foster simple living, choosing experiences over material things. We teach contentment through scripture and our modeling. Yung sharing practices, share what you have, play fair. These are things that we learned in kindergarten. In the 80s, there was a popular book by Dr. Robert Fulgo. It's entitled Everything I Learned to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. So, yung share what you have is one of the catchphrases doon. Share what you have it teaches our children to be charitable. Yung to play, when we tell our children to play fair, we are teaching our children the virtue of justice. So we also need to teach our children how to delay gratification. Kasi una, usap-uso ngayon yung instant gratification, di ba? Kasi lahat ng instant, yung coffee natin instant, yung movies natin, whatever movie we want to watch, we can see them on Netflix. Yung mga pirated, nasa YouTube na. So, we need to teach our children how to delay yung gratification because this will teach them the virtue of prudence, temperance, self-control. So for the circle of influence, for Mark, for the other people around us, we can share what we learned as a circle of concern natin. I don't need to cover this. Tapos ito, gender conversations. Do you want to cover this? Okay. Frequently sa bahay namin, because I have 9 children, we have 5 millennials and 4 Gen Zers sa bahay.